Yo guys, what's good? How you guys doing? As promised, I came back to your faces to give you guys the last part of the news for today. Today is Friday, and obviously, I'm sure you guys are already at home. However, I'm sure you guys have like an amazing day. You guys should expect an amazing news from me today. A lot has been happening, and I'm here to give you guys all the report as it concerns Afrobeat artists and their doings in the music space. My name is Daki, spelled Darki. Then you know it's double E. Welcome again to Goes to Life News. We'll begin today's news with no other person than Olamide. Olamide himself doing good and an amazing boss as it were. Moving on, we saw Olamide on Audio Mac becoming the African most streamed rapper alive with about 3.3 million monthly listeners and a total plays of about 596 million. That's close to about 600 million on Audio Mac. Moving on, we saw Timi Ovasa coming out online to make a back and forth. She has already been doing this about Olamide, always making conversations about Olamide. This time she did it again and he made a whole lot of claim. According to Timi, she came out to say, I got into the music industry to sing. Olamide carried me on his head and paraded me as the princess. But once the cameras were off, I was in a house with his disrespectful classicist wife who made it a mission to remind me that I was a poor girl that they brought from Ilorin to change her life. I would go out with this woman. She would humiliate me publicly. When people ask for pictures, she made it a mission to remind me that I was broke. It is not enough to help people don't add to their problem. I Kuku never tagged him on the video that he saw. I never cared to be associated with you people. I really wanted to sing. I recorded over 25 songs and Fuse opened his wide mouth to tell me he misplaced the hard drive. 25 songs. I spent 5 years and released 4 songs. I have recorded and released 3 albums since I left these people. I have so many songs I could drop an album every week. Nobody's perfect and I gave it benefit of doubt for 5 years. She went further saying, I spoke to you. She called them very foul and insulting words. And you guys said it's drugs. It is depression. Everyone who knows me know that I have deep fear for hard drugs because of my history with terrible mental health. I carry my cigar and ego with pride. I know the idea. I come out to speak about being literally left with, to rot away with no idea if I can go ahead to do my own thing. No communication, no money, nothing. I came all the way from Ilorin where I was minding my business just to be reminded that I'm broke and I'm grateful for not overextending myself and screaming Baba Twali. Every time Uncle and his political friends walk into the room, I was not happy to be in those spaces. I have been focusing on my peace, but I have to be honest, mobile death has been so triggering. I tried to unalive so many times, but I spent 5 years with nothing to show for my work, but useless while being a princess name that the Instagram has now refused to change. Olamide has a track record of putting artists on, and that is beautiful, but you do not have a structure. You do not care about the human beings behind the music. You do not even know how to manage 2 artists at the same time. Look at your track record of dumping artists every time you get a new one. Your new shiny toy and projects, and she called him megalomaniac. I spoke up and left, and uncle sent me compensation. You honestly would have been better off not giving me anything because that compensation was the biggest insult. On top of 5 years, I have no access to my logins, no access to everything I worked for. As for you, Adebukomi, Oga wife, you are a mean woman and you are lucky you did not meet the version of me. Even your nanny wasn't spared. Blame it on my sexuality, but Lighter is not gay, Devoli is not gay, and other artists are the other artists gay too? Talking about we are family, who be your family? I should be grateful because you wasted my time and gave me crumbs. You could have just left me alone. I wasn't, and I'm still not trying to be famous. I don't even like people. She went further saying, I came to Lagos to sing. Your structureless record label put me in a house with your wife, and she turned me into an errand girl. Do you know how wild it is to be saying yes, ma, to a rude girl that is just 2 years older than you because you need to get your life on track? And then she insulted them in Yoruba. Then she went further saying, and don't even get me started on the shady political affiliations I can only keep quiet about if I don't want to be unalived. Last, I am not a Nigerian sacrificial lamb, and that one is not my story to tell. I hope Mohbad rest in peace. You people have unalived him. Go and eat his body. But I honestly will not forgive this one. I can't. He spoke up. We usually do, but we all are addicts and ungrateful artists. Continue. That was the back and forth from Timi of Wasa to Olamide and his wife at the time, narrating how she was misused by Olamide's wife as against an artist. She was used as an house girl. And then she said she would want to spill more about the political affiliation, but then she doesn't want to die. She used the word on her life, and then she said she doesn't want to die, and because of her life, she probably will not want to say more on the political affiliations of Olamide. At the same time, also on the podcast with Jabless, she came out also to say, Olamide has not directly had any issue with me. So basically, she is now saying maybe not Olamide, but then his wife. But at the same time, she mentioned Olamide on this post she posted on her Instagram and Twitter page saying Olamide doesn't know how to manage two artists at the same time. For a counter post with some majesty coming out on a podcast at the same time to make a counter post saying for Olamide, he's a great guy. Olamide always wants everybody to get paid. So the question is, who do we believe at this point? Moving on, we have Ruga as the next guy on the news. We saw Ruga at the time where his new project called Rule the World made a debut on the US Billboard Reggae album chart this week. And for Ruga project, it has been tagged as a reggae project, and he made his debut at the Billboard Reggae album chart this week. At the same time, Road the World have surpassed 400 million plus stream on all platforms, and that's an amazing one for him at the time. At the same time, Ruga Rule the World just surpassed 90 million stream on Spotify, another amazing record for Ruga. We saw Ruga coming out to say over the week, but last month there's been a speculation about a new fake Ruga who has been in town collecting money for shows and going out to perform Ruga song. And Ruga came out to say, as for me, I will not stop him because that is what put food on his table, and I will not take food away from him. He's doing it. I love what he's doing because he also is promoting my song. So Ruga is saying he's happy with the guy and he doesn't have intentions of stopping him or making him lose food and make him eat daily. Moving on, we saw Ruga coming out to say people don't know this about him, but then he's going to spill it out that at a time he always leave his house as early as 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. to go to church and clean the church. Ruga came out to say there is no way you will serve God and God will not pay you back. So he's saying all of what he's enjoying now was because at the point he was always going to church by 5 a.m. to make sure the church was properly clean, and no wonder he's reaping all of that now in his music successes. Moving on, with Soriga coming out to announce his new genre of music. He called it Afro porn, and then for for good knowledge, those are words that probably will not be used on TV. But then he has come out to say he does Afro porn because of the kind of song he sang on track 11 on the project Boy Toy, where he came out to use vulgar word, and then he said that porn is called Afro porn at the time. Moving on, we have Tems as an S folk on the news, and probably and obviously the last lady on the news. We saw when Tems tipped us with a new project which she called Mood, and all our fans are waiting to see when this one will finally drop. After all, she had an interview with Kendrick Lamar where she came out to spill a whole lot about her life and her music in general. Moving on, we saw Tems Free My Mind just surpassed 100 billion streams on Spotify. It is her first solo song to hit the landmark, and she makes history as the first female Nigerian producer to produce a song with 100 million plus streams on Spotify. Moving on, we saw where Tems came out to say, talking about the Grammys, the one she won, she said she doesn't even know where she kept the Grammy plaque because, according to her, she lost moving on and she's gotten that one and then she's moved on from the Grammy. Yesterday, we saw Tems having a live session with her fans, and then one of her fans said, please do a song with Kanye West. And then Tems replied saying, get, according to her, she said, get Kanye to come on my Instagram live. If he can come here on my Instagram live, we're going to go to the studio to make a song. As a matter of fact, a lot of people are asking questions. How would Kanye come to your Instagram live? But then she have said, should Kanye join the live, she is going to go straight to the studio to make a song with Yeezy at the time. But then it didn't come on the live, so maybe we shouldn't be expecting a song with Tems and Kanye West anytime soon. But regardless, it's going to be a beautiful one to see our princess with Kanye West on the song together. Anyways, guys, we've come to the end of this one. It's Friday. You guys should go have yourself massive fun. Remember, Daki, love you guys so much. Take care of yourself and have an amazing night.